word that Tiffany Hayes will not be available tonight because of a hamstring injury. So Alex are ready to go. Start of a 4-game, a 5-game losing streak. Here's Jonquel Jones, player of the week in the Eastern Conference for the 4th time, puts up the first shot.
Elizabeth Williams, so that's a confidence booster for Jonquel.
Sykes driving, dropping inside for Liz Williams. 4-game homestand. They have been almost unbeatable at home as Courtney Williams. Jasmine Thomas, feathery pass for Alyssa, and what a block underneath.
Good on the recovery defensively. Alyssa Thomas looked like she was going to have a layup here, but no quit from Sykes, and that's quite a block there.
With Jones guarded outside by Williams. An outside and an inside threat, and that time Faith takes it. Trailing Jones, thought about the three. There's some physical play. And getting bumped off. 14 as Bentley tries another three. Off of the mark again. Breland reset. Sykes, 3 is good. Their last matchup against the Dream. Sun lost that game. That first quarter was the difference. There's a 3. Courtney Williams misfires. She's closing in on 500 threes for her career. Sykes hits a 3. But as you said, she can get hot. She got no hotter than Connecticut 7-1 at the Mohegan this year. Breland lets it fly. Come back again for 2 more games. A little bit of the rhythm is disrupted in a good way by the All-Star game.
Yeah, but it gives you. Kurt said he's been impressed with her defensive prowess as well. I mean, you can put her in multiple situations as Atlanta gets an easy one.
That is Sykes. Looking for double figures. Liz Williams, good offensive rebound to 5. Thomas to Williams. Strickland, good pump fake, and the 3 is good. Earlier in the quarter, not that time. Jasmine Thomas, long pass for Alyssa Thomas. She scored.
Injury. If a player decides not to take a charge on Alyssa Thomas because you're asking for a possible injury, and that's what Maite Cazorla just tried to go up.
For Connecticut.
And there's that baseline drive that you mentioned earlier. This league on the baseline drive.
She has 11. Here's Banham. 3 is good. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Sykes off balance, doesn't go. Batted in the air by Sykes to Montgomery. 3 is good. They swing it for Sykes. The drive, the kick out. Cazorla, spot up 3 is good. Earlier in the broadcast, LaChina, that Atlanta had 1 3 of 4 before going into a slump again as Alyssa Thomas.
And they are without Angel McCautry.
Oh, what a block there by.
When Connecticut is at their best defensively, they're blocking shots like the one a very different offensive player from Elizabeth Williams, who primarily scores in the low block area.
Oh, nice shot. As you mentioned, Jones out to guard Gulish. Here's Montgomery right down the lane, found an opening.
And not that shot blocking presence at the rim.
Jasmine Thomas, the 3 is good. Changes directions down the lane. Jones keeps it alive. The Sun lead the league in second chance points and a couple of more. Holmes gives for Bannon, puts up a 3. Made her first. Not that time. There's
Connecticut on the offensive glass, especially early in this second quarter, showing a lot of energy.
Sykes now has a game-high 13 as Holmes hits the 5th 3 of the season. As Montgomery drives down the lane for
to get up and get that shot up.
Willis, the stutter step down the lane, gives out for Coffey. It's another one. Tuck for Courtney. Tuck gets it back. Hit a couple the other day at Indiana. Nice rip down by Jones and the put to go here in the first half as Williams fakes. Jones, Holmes, open. 3 is good. It's obviously still not recovered totally from the back procedure. Strickland, 3 is good. Montgomery dropping it in pretty, trying to hang in there despite the fact they're without Tiffany Hayes as Courtney Williams.
And who has the ball once again? None other than Brittany Sykes as they are playing bounce.
Strickland catch, release. That's a 2, a long. Sykes had 11 in the first quarter, 2 in the third quarter. As in the second quarter, a turnover here as Alyssa Thomas gives for Courtney Williams.
Very efficient, and they can go stretches in the game without scoring.
Thomas the blow by Jasmine. Sykes the pump fake. And the rejection by Jones, and then the late whistle.
Got past the first line of defense, but not past the second line. And they call this team genuinely really likes each other. They have good chemistry, and that's what's gotten them back in it.
3-point lead. Jones working on Gulich. Has it blocked. And as you mentioned, the three-pointer has not been a great weapon this year for Atlanta. Sykes has been a weapon all night. Does it again. Now has 20 in the broadcast house. She had 22 points in one quarter this year in the game at Phoenix as Alyssa Thomas tries to answer back. She wants her to be aggressive all the time like that.
She has to. And still, and Heideman's got a really quick release. She's wiry. She could be a good defender as well.
Brianna Jones in perfect position. You know, I'm glad that when we talked about Heideman earlier, as Brianna Jones goes right down. Lacey Clarendon went down with that knee injury. Banham, the pass to Jones, and she squeezes it home.
And field goal percentage. And you mentioned this earlier. She does her work early and gets 2 feet in the paint, doesn't stop moving there.
Their season high bench points as Heideman comes up with the steal. Jones in good position again, kept it alive. Reset Sun. Tuck, 3, good! Morgan Tuck has broken this game open. More second chance opportunities for the team that leads the league in that category, and 2 more!
Connecticut has lifted back to that second spot in the standings. Is, you know, good bodes well for John Paul Jones.
Hayes tonight, you don't really know when you're going to have Hayes again because hamstring injuries are so touchy. Heideman the
Pet with that left-handed quick release jump shot.
That's the first field goal. It landed 11 points in the third quarter and obviously carried it right over here into the final period.
Well, and something that is, so that just speaks volumes and puts a number to what their defense has been able to do.
Sun haven't lost a beat. Contact, we play on, and Gulich scoring next month with China.
No, August is going to see a lot of Connecticut Sun on the road. So they will be once again a 5-game losing streak because I believe a lot of it had to do with how tough it is to win when you're not
games for the Sun in August, and they're going to be seeing some really tough opposition as Morgan. So the Sun at 90. The Dream playing hard here at the end, trapping and home shooting, and now has a former team this season. As the Sun are on their way to winning the season series. Tuck 3, oh, perfect down here as the Sun are on their way to their 12th win of the year. Holmes a 3 in the air, got it again. What a night for Bria Holmes. The New Haven, Connecticut native, the former member of the Atlanta Dream, now has 17 points. As we count it down, the horn sounds, and the Sun have won their 3rd in a row, and they do it in a blowout.